Okay, so guys, when you come to the assessment on Friday, the first thing you're going to do is one. Guys, chaps, identify the key. What is the chaps? What is the key? You only work in major, we don't work in minor, so that's not giving away a tip. It's just a fact, we only work in major, that makes it easier. Okay, Douglas, if you don't know how to find the key, take the headphones off. If you don't know how to find the key, that's a problem. Go home, swat up on your key line and make sure you find the right key. If you see 2 sharps, E major, 3 sharps, A major, 3 flats, E flat major, etc. Okay, you understand that, right?
Yeah.
The next one is, guys, you're only really working with 5 chords. So create 2 little extra bars like this. Go to your minims here and create the chords that you need, so you can see them, so they're graphic. A lot of you aren't seeing that chord. You aren't actually. You're trying to imagine the chord in your head, and if it's graphic, remember, theory is a graphic attainment. This is graphic. Music is not graphic; it's sound. But theory is a graphic attainment. So you're going chord 1, using chord 2, right? You're using chord 4. You're not using chord 3, okay? And using chord 5, okay? Sorry, run out of space. Here's chord 5. Okay, and chord 5 is the only chord you're using as a 7th. Okay, so remember, you have to have a 5, 7 to 1 somewhere. If you don't have a 5, 7 to 1, they're going to take mark off. Okay, and the next one is, sorry, got a wrong note in there, is 6. So you've got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and you're not using 7 either. Okay, so that's the first thing. So let's say you're in F sharp major. Hope not, but if you're in F sharp major, you have to visually see those chords. F sharp major is not a key you normally work in. You want to visually see what you are actually dealing with. Okay, so please write them out. Okay, the next thing you've got to do, guys, is let me move this. Next thing you've got to do is you've got to say, what is my chord direction? If you don't know where the chords are going, so Adrian, you're very good at 4-part harmony, but your choice of chords were a bit wonky in the thing that you did. Okay, so guys, this is your first diagram, 3-circle diagram, chord 1, chord 4, chord 5, right? Direction goes this way, like this, like that, okay? You cannot go this way. This is the biggest mistake you can make. You may not, in high school harmony, go that way. Okay, now watch. Substitute for 2. I'm refreshing your memory on this. I know you know. 6. Substitute for 4. 2, right? So you could go 1 to 6 to 4 to 2 to 5 to 1. Cadences, right? Your cadences, the next step is, what are my cadences? 1 to 5, okay, imperfect. 5 to 1, perfect. 5 to 6, this is the hard one, hey? The hard one. So please go to your booklet, study the rules. 5 to 6. And then the next one is 4 to 1, which is plagal. 4 to 1, which is the plagal cadence. Okay, that's the arming cadence. Now watch. A lot of you didn't know this. Imperfect cadence can be anything to 5, basically. 4 to 5 is an imperfect cadence. 3 you don't use, 2 to 5, and 1 to 5.
So there's no rules.
Okay, so guys, listen. In a 1 to 5, your leading note must go backwards. So 5 to 1, your leading note rises. It must go the other way.
4 to 5 and that's
okay, listen. Write it down. 4 to 5. If you're choosing a 4 to 5, this cadence is problematic. Why? Because there's parallel motion. The whole thing's going like this. That's why 5 to 6. The moment you have this parallel motion, you have problems because you're going to get parallels. Okay, so you've got to watch. You've got to say to yourself, write it down, guys. Write it down. 5 to 6 is problematic. 4 to 5 is problematic. Why? Because of parallel motions. Okay.
2 seconds.
Yes, run, Steph, you're going to miss stuff. Does that make sense?
So same with high teacher, I'm taking 2 seconds.
Anything where you're going 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5 is parallel motion. You've got to be really careful. You've got to say to yourself, my job here is to avoid those parallels. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. Guys, the next step. Now, Adrian, listen very carefully. I wish Steph was here now. He's got it on the video. The next step is use strong progressions. Tobin, come. Use strong progressions. Okay, watch. Down thirds. Remember I told you this?
Up fourths.
Down thirds. Very good. Up fourths. Okay. If you mix them up, you've got a big problem because you've got the worst harmony ever. So please, there's a number of people who said, yeah, sir, I went up fourths, I went up thirds and down fourths. I'm like, naught. Okay, up fourths. Okay, so now watch. On your piece of paper, rough piece of paper, write a little sequence. Down thirds, 1 to 6, 2, 4, right? 2, 2, to 5, to 1. Down a third, down a third, down a third. That is a strong progression. If you can put it in, put it in. It's a very strong progression. So Steph, we're talking about now what is a strong progression. Okay, now watch. Up fourths. Okay, so 1, 2, 4 is very strong. Back to 1 is fine. There's no problem with that. Even though it's down a fourth, it's 1 to 4 has become such a standard type of progression that 4 to 1 is fine. But let's go up another fourth. What's a fourth from F in C? F, G, A, B, right? 7.
Yeah.
What's a substitute for 7?
5.
5. So that makes sense. Go up from 7, B, C, D, E. That's 3. Okay, so that doesn't work. But
so could you alternate? So you could go down. So you could then go down third from the fifth.
yes. So from the fourth. Yeah, so right. So up a fourth, down a third from F to D minor. Right. Up a fourth from 2, D, E, F, G. Again, 5, and 5 can go to 6 or it can go to 1. So I'm just saying. Okay, it's not a perfect science with the up fourths because you keep ending up on the dominant, right? And you can't go to 7, you can't go to 3. But you can go to the substitute. But try and go down thirds. This is an easy one. So go down a third, you get stuck, go up a fourth. Down a third, down a fourth. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so the fourths isn't as clear because you're in your harmony, you're not using 3 or 7. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, strong progressions. So Adrian, yesterday, sorry I'm using an example, but Adrian was like, no, too many 5 to 1s. I'm not going to go 5 to 1 as a start, which you absolutely must go because you're establishing the key, right? So Adrian went, I'm going to go, what did you go? 2 to 6? Or 6 to 2? 2 to 6. It worked out. He got the harmony, he wrote the harmony perfect, but it's not strong as a start of a piece. You want to go 5, 1, I'm in C major. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Tobin, come off that phone, please. Okay.
Only one right to go.
Okay, all right. Okay, the next thing you're going to do, guys, is you're going to go to your instructions in the test. Listen, guys, you're going to go to instructions, and you're going to look at what they're asking. They're asking for a bunch of chords with the right inversions, right, and the right, Joseph, listen, inversions, and so in terms of inversions, that would be primary and secondary chords. Make sure you know the rules. So in primary chords, you cannot double the third. You can double it in a secondary chord, which is 2 and 6. Okay. In a primary chord, 1, 4, and 5, you can't. Okay. Now going to the next one. They say to you, now let's say that's been filled in, but let's say they give you that melody. They say you must have a 5, 7, you must have, let's start with a 1C 5 7 to 1. You must have that cadential 6 4. You got it. So guys, it's so simple. It's so simple. If there are two cadences, there's one there, and there's one here. Wait, Steph. There's one here, and there's one here. Then what? One of them is a cadential 6 4. Okay, you got it.
And so
That's it.
That's one. What could that again? 1C5.
Yeah, it's this one. 1C 5 7 to 1. So 1C is a 1 chord with the fifth in the bass. So just make it simple. If you work according to step and process. So a lot of you are just starting the harmony. You're just starting. Okay, what chord is this? And it becomes very difficult. Don't do that. Go to what you need, and what you need to put in. So you go to the end here and you stick in your cadential 6 4. There can only be one. If you've got two cadences, there can only be one. Okay. Then, secondly, what's the next thing you need? A passing 6 4. They're asking for it. They never asked for it directly before. They are asking for it, right? You look for 1 2 3 or 3 2 1. 3 2 1, you do it the other way around. Most likely to get 1 2 3. See 1 2 3? Stick it in. Okay, is that cool? Okay, good. Right. So watch, guys. You scored these marks. Let's say it's 2 marks. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. You've got 12 marks. 12 marks are done as long as you figure it correctly. Okay.
So what's it?
If it's wait. The next thing you've got to have is a 5, 7 to 1. So if you can't make the credential 6, 4 a 5, 7, you can't get your resolve, you'll make it a 5. But then somewhere else you've got to have a 5, 7 to 1. If you've done a 5, 7 here, you've ticked the box. You don't have to have another 5, 7. As long as you've resolved it properly. Okay. Wait. Get your picture now. So in a 5, 7 chord, in the chord, the third rises. In the chord, the 7 falls. But in the key, the 7 rises. Very confusing. So guys, don't be confused. When you get to the test, don't go, hang on. The 7 is falling in the key. That's wrong. It's the 7 in the chord. Yes.
So for your passing credentials,
Wait, guys.
because you're already using inversions in your passing,
Guys. Adrian, come here.
so because you're already using inversions in your passing credential, you do need to do other inversions.
No. The inversions are like whatever. There's gonna be an inversion somewhere where you've displayed. So even if you just have one inversion, that's fine. So there's an inversion done.
So
Okay.
what's the test?
I didn't think about the keys. Third of the chord, right?
I'm gonna have to check. I can't remember. I need to look at the marking thing. I'll give you the rubric tomorrow. Okay, guys, listen very carefully. Okay, so watch it. Now you go to the next cadence and you say, what is that? So guys, look, there's a D there, right?
Yeah.
It can only be a 5, right? Can we go to anything else? No, it has to be an imperfect cadence. Can we go to anything else? We can't go to 2. Can't land on 2.
Why not?
It's not a cadence.
Oh.
It's not cadence to 2. Adrian.
Cool,
Adrian, it's a cadence. Not a cadence on 2. It's not a cadence. Okay, so you can only go to 5. Guys, look, watch. So simple. We're going to go something to 5. And what are your options? Your options are 1 to 5, 4 to 5, or 2 to 5. So in this example, I've gone 4 to 5, right? But I'm going to have to really watch that I don't have parallels. Okay. Jack and you guys just concentrate for a moment. I'm almost done. Okay. Watch out. Now I'm going to go to, so I do my cadence. So watch. I've nailed that. 6 marks. I've nailed this. 6 marks. I've nailed this. 4 marks for those 2 chords. And then logically this chord is going to make sense as well. So let's say it's another 6. So what's 12 plus 6? That. Okay. Okay, 18. Right. Now where do I go? I go to the beginning. So I work backwards, guys. Don't work from the beginning. Now I go to the beginning and I say, we have to establish the key. The most logical step for each chord. For each chord. The most logical step for each chord, beginning on the front end of the bar, hopefully is probably 1. So let's see how many 1s I can put in. Okay, so here's the next step. Nicholas, watch. Here we go. Look, watch. Can I put a 1 in on this thing here? Yes. Can I put a 1 in here? Yes, put it in. Because remember, it's classical music. There's a strong beat on the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And it's basic, generic harmony. You're not trying to be clever. You're just trying to get the marks. That's it. And show that you can do the basic thing. And half of you will do the basic thing and misspell the chord anyway.
Cool.
Yeah. So misspelling the chord and getting parallels is going to knock your mark down. So I'm making it simple for you in terms of structure and process.
You have to show the chord.
Huh?
You have to show the chord.
Yes. I would like you to show the chord, I think for your own purposes as well. Okay, so you can put a 1, go for a 1. You can put a 1, go for a 1. Can you put a 1 here? No. Okay, you'll have to choose something else. Can I put a 1 here? Here's an E.
Yes.
So do it. Put the 1, it makes it simple. Can I put a 1 here? Yes, it's a passing. You can. Can I put a 1 here? Yes. So do you see what I've done? Right, now the work starts. But watch. This is how many. Watch. Now the work starts, Douglas. Now the hard part starts.
Only now.
No. Douglas, shush. So look how much it's simplified. Now watch. Watch here. This is how many chords you have to figure out. 1, 2, 3, or let's say that's joined, so it's half. That's, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a 1, 9. Then you've got 11 chords left. And that's what gets a little tricky, because now you've got to have strong root movement and harmonic movement, and then you come back to this and you say, how many chords can I get to drop down a third and go up a fourth? Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
That is what you're studying. You know how to do 4-part harmony, but a lot of you are coming and doing 4-part harmony and starting here, and you spent half an hour trying to get from there to there, and you've used like 20 different things. Nail what you can and what you know. Okay, so very quickly, what are you laughing at? Okay, so you go here, you go to the end, cadence, then you go to cadence, right? Then you go to passing 6/4. Then you say, do I have a 5-7-2-1? If not, put one in. Try and put chord 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then do the rest. Okay, makes sense. Yes, sir. Okay, good. Good. I'm going to put this on YouTube so you can revise.
What? No! I said so many outlandish things.
It's all right, Tobin.